Remember the moment you unboxed your PlayStation 5? That feeling of limitless potential and the promise of games that would change everything? Too often, new releases feel like last-gen leftovers, just slightly shinier, but not today. We're diving deep into the library to find the essential, high-impact experiences that truly deliver on the PS5 dream. These are the games that make every dollar feel like a worthwhile investment, the experiences you'll be talking about for years. Ready to rediscover the magic of next-gen gaming? Let's jump into the list. Elden Ring isn't just a game, it's a monumental cultural event that successfully marries the challenging, meticulous combat of the Souls series with a truly massive, interconnected open world. From the moment you step out into Limgrave, the sheer scale of the lands between is astonishing, constantly encouraging you to venture over the next ridge or investigate the distant Golden Tree. And here's where it gets interesting. The freedom to explore is your most powerful tool, allowing you to bypass impossibly difficult bosses or dungeons, only to return later armed with better gear and a newfound sense of mastery. It's a game that respects your time by giving you the choice of where and how to face its legendary difficulty. The gameplay itself remains From Software's signature blend of precise timing, stamina management, and deep build customization, but the addition of Spirit Ashes and horseback combat on Torrent opens up combat in fascinating ways. You know that moment when you finally defeat a demigod after dozens of attempts? That rush of adrenaline and profound satisfaction is what Elden Ring delivers consistently, backed by world building that is dense with lore and unforgettable encounters. It's a game designed to be absorbed, discussed, and replayed, offering hundreds of hours of content that easily justifies its price tag, a true fantasy epic for the modern era. This isn't just an adventure, it's a deep, challenging commitment that rewards patience and curiosity like few other games can. The technical performance on PS5 makes this vast world feel immediate and responsive, whether you're battling a massive dragon or simply navigating the sprawling catacombs beneath the surface. For anyone seeking the definitive generation-defining fantasy RPG experience on the PS5, Elden Ring is not just a recommendation, it's mandatory. The sequel to the 2018 masterpiece, God of War Ragnarök, delivers one of the most content-rich and emotionally resonant single-player adventures available on the platform. The game takes the foundations of the previous installment, the over-the-shoulder camera, the satisfying axe blades combat, and expands them exponentially, offering greater enemy variety and a much deeper combo system. But the real value lies in the narrative, which masterfully handles the evolving relationship between Kratos and Atreus, moving the main story along with impeccable pacing and dramatic weight. It's a journey across diverse realms, each distinct in its tone and style, ensuring that exploration never feels stale. What truly sets Ragnarök apart is how it handles the filler content. You know those side quests in other games that feel like simple fetch missions? That's not the case here. The optional quests in Ragnarök are consistently meaningful, not just for loot, but because they actively enrich the lore, deepen character relationships, and expand the narrative context of the world. This commitment to quality across the board gives the game one of the best cost-to-content ratios on the PS5, feeling less like a video game and more like an interactive cinematic saga. The combat flow is exceptional, building on established mechanics while introducing new abilities that keep the fighting fresh and dynamic. Whether you're mastering the Leviathan axe, the Blades of Chaos, or Atreus' bow, the experience is fluid and brutal. Ultimately, Ragnarök is a complete package, a top-tier single-player adventure defined by long playtime, emotional storytelling, and exceptional production value. It is the very definition of a high-value, essential sequel. When you talk about a game that makes the PS5's hardware sing, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 swings straight to the top of the list. It takes the already spectacular web-slinging from the previous games and refines it to an almost unbelievable level, making traversal across New York City a purely joyful, kinetic experience. Seriously, have you ever felt the wind resistance through the DualSense triggers as you dive before shooting a web line? That is the immersion we're talking about. The game seamlessly integrates both Peter Parker and Miles Morales, allowing for dynamic character switching that never breaks the exhilarating momentum, effectively doubling the combat and traversal possibilities. The combat system is expanded with the introduction of Peter's symbiote powers and Miles' bioelectric venom abilities, giving both heroes unique tactical depths. Encounters feel varied and fast-paced, encouraging creative use of the environment and gadgets to control the battlefield. And here's the clever part. The story doesn't just treat the two heroes as interchangeable skins, It explores the dramatic personal stakes of both characters, backed by set pieces that feel straight out of a blockbuster movie. While the core web swinging remains the star, the open world is dense with meaningful activities, side quests, and street-level stories that make the city feel alive. The fluid animations and lightning-fast responsiveness are a constant reminder of the PS5's power, making Spider-Man 2 the gold standard for superhero action on the platform. It's an impactful, high-velocity adventure that delivers spectacle and emotional weight in equal measure, proving that the best superhero experience is a dual one. Horizon Forbidden West takes the stunning, post-apocalyptic world of giant robotic creatures and pushes the envelope in every measurable way, delivering a visual and mechanical spectacle that feels tailor-made for the PS5. The sheer beauty of the diverse environments, from lush, sun-drenched jungles to intricate underwater ruins, is breathtaking, often making you stop and simply admire the level of detail. The open world is vast and begging to be explored, but it never feels empty. Every corner holds secrets, resources, or a new, terrifying machine to hunt. The combat is where the game truly excels, centering on Aloy's fluid movement and tactical use of elemental weaknesses. Taking down a massive, laser-spitting Thunderjaw requires preparation, precise aim, and knowing exactly which components to tear off with your bow. This focus on strategic dismemberment is deeply satisfying and elevates every encounter above simple hack and slash. The addition of new traversal mechanics, like the shield wing glider and increased verticality, gives the world a true sense of depth that was absent in the original. You know what's great about this kind of open world? It respects your time by offering a narrative that is both epic in scale and deeply personal to Aloy's journey. The game is packed with content, from the main quest to side activities that consistently introduce new characters, lore, and challenges, making the exploration loop highly rewarding. Forbidden West is an essential PS5 title that delivers a visually stunning, mechanically deep, and absolutely massive adventure, cementing its place as one of the console's premier experiences. Final Fantasy XVI represents a dramatic, exhilarating shift for the iconic series, diving headfirst into a dark fantasy world driven by mature political drama and stunning, action-oriented combat. Forget turn-based commands. This is a pure, high-octane action game where protagonist Clive Rosfield utilizes the powers of summoned beasts, or icons, to unleash devastating cinematic attacks. The core gameplay loop focuses on precise timing, rapid-fire combos, and strategically chaining different icon abilities, making every major boss fight feel less like an RPG encounter and more like a set piece from a character action game. The game's narrative is a central pillar of its value, dealing with themes of oppression, destiny, and the fallout of powerful magic in a way that feels serious and focused. The pacing is relentless, constantly pushing the story forward through spectacular cutscenes and massive icon-vis-icon battles that are nothing short of phenomenal spectacles. While the world structure isn't a traditional open world, the expansive zones are rich with lore, side quests, and hunts that provide meaningful depth without overwhelming the player. And here's the interesting part. Even though the combat is pure action, the depth of character progression and gear customization is still there for those who want to dive deep, backed by the PS5's quick loading that keeps the pace tight. Final Fantasy XVI is a thrilling reinvention, delivering a mature, gorgeous, and technically impressive experience that feels completely focused on giving players a high-value, action-packed saga. This is the new era of Final Fantasy, and it's spectacular. Let's start with a foundational question. What should a PS5 launch title look and feel like? The Demon's Souls remake answers that with a resounding, brutal clarity. Bluepoint's stunning visual overhaul preserves every bit of the original game's dark, suffocating atmosphere, transforming the challenging world of Boletaria into a legitimate technical showcase with detailed environments and beautiful animation. It's a game that instantly justifies the cost of the console itself, even years later, because the visual polish is simply staggering. But this remake isn't just a glossy coat of paint. The gameplay has been refined for a more fluid and responsive feel without sacrificing the core, unyielding difficulty that fans demand. Enemy placement, the interconnected level structure, and the risk-reward system remain tightly designed, making every step forward feel earned. You know that heart-pounding moment when you recover a massive pile of lost souls after a grueling run? That profound satisfaction is the heart of this experience. Whether you choose performance mode for silky smooth fluidity or cinematic mode for enhanced visual immersion, Demon's Souls stands as one of the most mechanically deep and visually refined experiences on the PS5. Its challenging design ensures long-lasting satisfaction for genre fans, delivering an experience that is both brutally rigid and flawlessly executed. This is the definition of a definitive remake. If you want to understand the true power of the PS5's ultra-fast SSD in a fun, explosive, and visually cartoonish way, then look no further than Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. This game doesn't just look like a high-budget animated film, it behaves like one, using instantaneous dimension transitions as a core gameplay mechanic. Hopping between entirely different worlds in a blink is the party trick that never gets old, and it perfectly showcases the console's unique hardware advantage. The gameplay is a masterclass in variety. Rift Apart maintains the series' signature blend of frantic third-person combat and light platforming, but the arsenal of weapons is more creative and hilarious than ever. You know the best part? Every single chapter encourages experimentation, forcing you to constantly rotate and upgrade your bizarre weaponry, which keeps the combat progression constantly enjoyable. The fluid presentation, vibrant color palette, and incredible animation quality make every battle a feast for the eyes. The story flows briskly, carried by light-hearted yet genuinely engaging character interactions, including the introduction of the fantastic Rivet. Performance modes ensure the action stays fluid, even when the screen is exploding with chaos. Rift Apart is a technical spectacle and a fast-paced, high-value adventure that rewards every minute spent with pure, unadulterated fun. It's a perfect family-friendly showcase for the generation. Are you tired of open worlds and cinematic linear adventures? Then let me introduce you to the high-stakes sci-fi terror of Returnal. This is a loop-based action structure that demands precision, quick reflexes, and absolute commitment, making it one of the most rewarding challenges on the platform. The premise is simple. Every time you die, you restart, but the environment reshuffles, new room layouts, new enemy placements, which keeps the experience constantly fresh and brutally unpredictable. The moment-to-moment combat is relentless, relying heavily on precise positioning and smart use of weapon traits against an onslaught of intense enemy encounters. But here's the interesting thing about the roguelike structure. Even though you restart often, permanent upgrades, equipment progression, and weapon traits form a meaningful, addictive loop of empowerment. You get better as the mysterious atmosphere thickens, pulling you deeper into the psychological horror of the planet Atropos. The sense of atmosphere is intense, leveraging the DualSense haptics to make alien raindrops or energy pulses feel real. This high-quality action constantly rewards your patience and effort, transforming failure into valuable knowledge. Returnal is a game that respects mastery, offering hours of fast-paced, high-quality action that proves its challenging nature is its greatest value proposition. The Last of Us Part I is the definitive statement on one of the most iconic single-player experiences in modern gaming history. A game that reminds you how powerful video game storytelling can be. This isn't just a simple up-res. The remake fully modernizes the environmental details, lighting, and animations, preserving the emotional tone of the original, while bringing the visual fidelity in line with the PS5 generation. Joel and Ellie's journey has never looked more intense or more dramatically structured. The brilliance of the design lies in its balance. Exploration, quiet progression, and brutal combat are perfectly weighted. Each area offers a unique rhythm, constantly keeping the pace engaging and the tension high. And you know what adds tremendous value? The revamped accessibility options and improved enemy AI make the moment-to-moment gameplay smoother and more immersive than ever, allowing more players to experience this powerful narrative. This is a timeless adventure that delivers on the promise of mature, character-driven narrative. The high-quality remastering ensures that the powerful set pieces and the emotional weight of the story are presented in their absolute best light. The Last of Us Part I delivers an unforgettable, intense, and dramatically profound experience that genuinely justifies its standing as a must-play classic. If you want a game that captures the feel of a sweeping samurai epic, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut offers tremendous value packed into a beautiful open world. The main campaign tells a powerful story of duty, sacrifice, and the blurred lines of honor, while the sheer amount of content, side quests, character-focused tales, and exploration makes the island of Tsushima feel incredibly rich and alive. This is an adventure you can truly sink dozens of hours into without feeling like you're grinding. The core sword combat is a deep, satisfying dance. Mastering the stance switching, counterattacks, and parries forms a system that constantly rewards player skill and timing. You know that incredible feeling when you perfectly execute a standoff, defeating 3 enemies with a single cinematic stroke? That is the essence of this game. Furthermore, the Iki Island expansion adds even more value, introducing new areas, enemies, and compelling quest lines that expand the overall narrative depth. Exploration, combat, and narrative progression are all beautifully balanced, making this a lengthy and consistently satisfying experience. The director's cut on PS5 enhances performance and visual quality, presenting the stunning aesthetic inspired by classic Japanese cinema in its absolute best form. This stands as a complete, high-value samurai adventure that clearly justifies its price tag and will keep you engaged for a very long time. If you're looking for a perfect blend of high-octane action and genuine survival horror, the Resident Evil 4 Remake is a masterclass in reimagining a classic. This isn't just a simple graphical update, it completely rebuilds the core experience with a modern over-the-shoulder perspective, making the tension and claustrophobia immediate and terrifying. The moment Leon Kennedy enters the village, the sense of dread is palpable, and the sheer number of Ganados coming at you demands quick reflexes and smart resource management. The gameplay is significantly enhanced, focusing on fluid third-person shooting while adding mechanics like the parry system using Leon's knife. This addition isn't a gimmick, it's a high-stakes risk-reward mechanic that makes every close-quarters encounter feel intense and visceral, rewarding mastery of the timing. You know that feeling when you parry a chainsaw attack inches from your face? That is the adrenaline rush this game consistently delivers, elevating the action beyond simple shooting. Furthermore, the game maintains a relentless pace, balancing challenging combat scenarios with excellent puzzle design and exploration. The PS5 hardware ensures fast loading and high visual fidelity, making the rural Spanish setting both beautiful and deeply unsettling. RE4 Remake is a high-value experience that honors the legacy of the original while offering a modern, definitive action horror package that easily justifies its place in your library. Resident Evil Village is the stylish, charismatic, and often bombastic follow-up that successfully blends the first-person horror of RE7 with a more action-focused European Gothic atmosphere. The game immediately pulls you into the isolated, snow-dusted village, surrounding you with a memorable cast of monstrous personalities that are both terrifying and deeply intriguing. It's horror with flair, exemplified by the now iconic Lady Dimitrescu. The gameplay structure is brilliant, segmenting the adventure into unique themed zones from the Grand Castle to the terrifying dollhouse, each offering its own distinct style of horror and enemy encounter. This variation keeps the pacing fresh and constantly surprising. The core loop involves tight resource management and intense first-person combat against a variety of creatures, including werewolves, vampires, and other monstrosities. What's interesting about Village is how it integrates an inventory management and crafting system similar to the classic games, providing a satisfying layer of progression and preparation. The PS5's performance is rock solid, delivering a smooth, high-fidelity presentation that makes the detailed environments and cinematic set pieces shine. Village is a high-value experience for fans of both horror and action, providing great scares and huge moments that feel essential on the PS5. Death Stranding 2 continues. Hideo Kojima's unique vision, offering an experience that is completely unlike anything else on the market, a contemplative, vast, and visually striking journey centered on connection. This is a game about the act of traversal, where every step, every piece of cargo, and every environmental obstacle matters. While the first game was divisive, the sequel is built to refine and expand upon the core mechanics that made the original so unique, doubling down on the sheer weight and consequence of movement. The gameplay loop is deceptively simple but profoundly deep, delivering packages, restoring infrastructure, and connecting the fragmented world. The PS5's fidelity ensures the stunning landscapes and detailed character models are presented flawlessly, enhancing the emotional weight of Sam Bridges' solitary journey. And here's where the value truly lies: the sense of communal effort, where other players' indirect contributions, like ladders or bridges, impact your world, creates a powerful, emergent multiplayer experience without ever forcing direct interaction. The narrative structure remains dense and complex, focusing on mature themes of society, isolation, and purpose. It's an adventure that requires patience, but rewards it tenfold with moments of genuine beauty, profound connection, and a story that sticks with you long after you put the controller down. Death Stranding 2 is a challenging, high-concept, and absolutely essential PS5 experience for players seeking something genuinely original and deeply meditative. Let's be honest, Cyberpunk 2077 had a rocky start. but the current next-gen version available on PS5 is the complete, definitive realization of Night City's dark, neon-drenched future. This is a massive, sprawling RPG that finally delivers on its promise, offering an incredible level of choice, customization, and pure world immersion that makes the urban sprawl feel alive and dangerous. The visual upgrade is immense, making the detailed cityscape an absolutely stunning technical achievement. The core gameplay loop is a flexible blend of first-person shooting, stealth, and deep RPG mechanics, allowing you to tailor V's combat and skills to your exact playstyle. You can be a silent netrunner, a chrome-plated heavy hitter, or a charismatic diplomat, and the game's updated systems support all of those choices meaningfully. The sheer volume of content from the main campaign to the dense network of side missions and gigs ensures hundreds of hours of unique content. What's great about this version is the refined performance and stability, allowing the vast open world and fast-paced action to shine without technical hiccups. The story, focusing on V's desperate struggle for survival, is engaging and backed by fantastic character writing. Cyberpunk 2077 has successfully transformed into a high-value, essential PS5 experience, offering a futuristic RPG that finally lives up to its immense potential. If you're looking for a game that delivers the charm and aesthetic of a high-end animated movie combined with genuinely satisfying action-adventure gameplay, Kena Bridge of Spirits is a delightful discovery. Its visuals are simply gorgeous, full of vibrant colors, expressive character designs, and a genuine sense of warmth that immediately sets it apart from the more grim AAA titles. It truly feels like playing an interactive Pixar film. The gameplay is a smooth and engaging mix of exploration, puzzle solving, and third-person combat. Kena's abilities, coupled with the adorable yet critical rot creatures, introduce unique mechanics for environmental manipulation and enemy control. You know that moment when you successfully use the rot to transform into a massive blob to clear a path or stun a large boss? That creative integration of mechanics is the game's core strength. While often described as shorter than some open-world behemoths, Kena delivers high detail, strong mechanical variety, and excellent production quality that keeps the pace tight and rewarding. The PS5's fluid performance makes the platforming and combat snappy and responsive. Kena Bridge of Spirits is a perfect high-value choice for anyone wanting a polished, enchanting adventure that proves that sometimes less content with more charm is the perfect investment. If pure, unadulterated sci-fi horror is what you crave, the Callisto Protocol delivers a brutal, visceral experience that feels like a spiritual successor to classic survival terror. Set in a maximum security prison colony on Jupiter's dead moon, the atmosphere is immediate and suffocating. Every dark corridor, flickering light, and metallic clang is designed to keep you on edge. This is a game that truly leverages the PS5's visual capabilities to create a stunningly detailed, terrifying environment. The core gameplay is tightly focused on intense, close-quarters combat. Unlike many horror games, your primary weapon is often a brutal melee system that requires precise dodging and blocking against the monstrous biophage. This makes every encounter feel less like a shooting gallery and more like a desperate, heavy struggle for survival. You know that incredible, sickening feeling when a hit lands and the biophage mutates mid-fight? That pressure and unpredictability are the game's core strengths. Resource management is key, forcing you to constantly weigh the risk of engaging an enemy versus conserving ammunition and health. The game is paced expertly, balancing moments of high-tension combat with brief, agonizing periods of quiet exploration. The Callisto Protocol is a high-value entry for horror fans, offering a graphically gorgeous, mechanically demanding, and relentlessly intense experience that showcases the darker side of the PS5's power. Star Wars Jedi. Survivor takes the successful formula of its predecessor and expands it into a massive, cinematic, and deeply engaging action-adventure that feels epic in scale. Cal Kestis's journey is one of high-stakes drama set against a stunning array of beautifully designed planets that feel authentically part of the Star Wars universe. The PS5 ensures the lightsaber combat and the spectacular environmental set pieces are delivered with smooth, fluid performance. The gameplay is a fantastic hybrid, combining the satisfying deep lightsaber combat, now expanded with 5 distinct stances, with exploration elements inspired by Metroidvania design. This structure encourages you to constantly revisit previous planets with new Force abilities and gear, unlocking hidden secrets and challenging platforming sections. And here's where the value truly shines. The sheer amount of optional content, rewarding exploration, and satisfying character growth is immense. What makes this an essential PS5 title is the excellent flow of traversal, which includes faster climbing options and improved mechanics that make exploring the massive maps a joy, not a chore. The story delivers powerful emotional beats and great character interactions, ensuring the narrative weight matches the thrilling action. Jedi Survivor is a high-value package, delivering a grand, lightsaber-wielding saga that solidifies Cal Kestis' place as one of the great modern video game heroes. Ghostwire Tokyo is one of the most unique and artistically striking games available on the PS5, offering a surreal, supernatural action experience in a beautifully realized version of Tokyo. The city is mysteriously emptied of people and haunted by menacing spirits, or visitors, creating an atmosphere that is both lonely and profoundly unsettling. The exploration of this hyper-detailed, ghost-filled urban environment is the immediate draw. The core combat system is genuinely different, focusing on elemental ethereal weaving. Think of it as psychic, first-person, hand-to-hand combat against paranormal foes. Mastering these powerful, visually spectacular spells is key, requiring precise targeting to expose the enemy's core for a finishing blow. You know that awesome moment when you unleash a massive wind-based attack to clear a cluster of spirits? That feeling of power is intensely satisfying. The game is packed with hidden secrets, collectibles, and side missions that delve into Japanese folklore and urban legends, adding substantial depth to the world. The PS5 enhances this experience with stunning ray-traced visuals and fast load times, making the transition between the vibrant streets and tense combat seamless. Ghostwire Tokyo is a high-value choice for those seeking an unforgettable, atmospheric, and highly original supernatural action game. Looking for a massive open-world adventure with a lighter touch and a focus on mythology and humor? Immortals Fenyx Rising is the surprising answer. Often described as Ubisoft's take on the Zelda formula, this game is a blast, transporting you to the colorful Golden Isle, where you navigate vast landscapes and solve clever mythological puzzles as the hero Fenyx. The visual style is vibrant, cartoony, and consistently charming. The gameplay loop is built around rewarding exploration and satisfyingly difficult environmental puzzles. You'll be constantly flying, climbing, and utilizing godly powers to unlock hidden vaults and progress the story. The combat system is fast, acrobatic, and focused on managing stamina and exploiting enemy weaknesses. What makes this so enjoyable is the genuinely funny and self-aware narration provided by the bickering gods Prometheus and Zeus, which provides light humor that keeps the tone consistently playful. This is a true content behemoth, offering a massive main campaign, countless optional challenges, and a great sense of character progression through equipment and abilities. Immortals Fenyx Rising is a high-value, feel-good game that offers a ton of fun and a unique twist on Greek mythology, proving that not every great PS5 game needs to be dark and brooding. The Dead Space remake is the definitive way to experience one of the greatest survival horror games ever made, entirely rebuilt from the ground up for the PS5. It plunges you back into the derelict, blood-soaked corridors of the USG Ishimura, preserving the original's isolating atmosphere while radically upgrading the graphics, sound design, and overall performance. The PS5's 3D audio makes every hiss, scrape, and distant moan terrifyingly immediate. The gameplay remains focused on the innovative strategic dismemberment system, forcing you to target the limbs of the necromorphs with Isaac Clarke's engineering tools. This isn't about headshots, it's about tactical limb removal, which makes the combat deeply unique and constantly tense. And here's the interesting upgrade. The developers added the Intensity Director, a new system that dynamically alters enemy and environmental encounters, ensuring that no two trips through a section of the ship feel exactly the same. This is a true masterpiece of atmospheric horror, benefiting immensely from the PS5's power to create a seamless, uninterrupted journey through the Ishimura without loading screens. Dead Space Remake is a technically superb, mechanically tight, and relentlessly terrifying experience that easily justifies its full price as the absolute best way to re-experience this sci-fi horror icon. Sea of Stars is a refreshing, high-value throwback that expertly channels the spirit of 16-bit era RPGs while updating the formula with modern sensibilities and stunning pixel art. This isn't just nostalgia, it's a beautifully crafted adventure focused on two children of the solstice who wield sun and moon magic to fight monstrous creations. The visual presentation is gorgeous, utilizing dynamic lighting and effects that make the pixelated world feel vibrant and alive on the PS5. The core gameplay centers on a fluid, turn-based combat system that introduces timing-based inputs to boost attacks and reduce incoming damage. You know what makes the system so engaging? The ability to constantly manage and charge your boost meter, ensuring that every turn requires active player participation rather than just menu selection. This adds a critical layer of skill and momentum to every battle, keeping the rhythm dynamic. Beyond combat, the game features satisfying exploration and smooth platforming, ditching the need for random encounters for a more focused adventure. Sea of Stars is a charming, high-quality RPG that delivers a fantastic story, memorable characters, and a significant amount of content for fans of classic JRPGs. It's an essential, feel-good experience that proves excellent value doesn't always need photorealism. We set out to find the games that truly fulfill the potential of the PlayStation 5, and every single title on this list delivers an experience that is technically brilliant, deeply immersive, and undeniably worth your investment. Whether you're swinging through New York, surviving the terror of the Ishimura, or traversing the lands between, these are the games that make you sit back and say, "This is why I own a PS5. But the list is subjective, so which of these games gave you that true next-gen feeling, and which high-value masterpiece did we miss? Drop a comment below, and if you enjoyed the breakdown, make sure to subscribe and leave a like for more essential PS5 lists. Until the next time, keep hunting for that next perfect gaming moment.